I'm going to mute everybody. Mute all. Bada bing. And okay. So what you'll need to do is be in a chair and then be scooted to the front edge of the chair, so that just by sitting at the edge of the chair, you are using your pelvic floor muscles, hips, back, stomach, spinal column, all the way up through the neck to the skull. You're already doing a sort of exercise just by not slouching back into your chair, crumpling up and turning into mashed potatoes, right? Now we're sitting forward, we're attending to the hips, attending to the spine. We're also attending to the neck and skull. One of the most common issues for people as they age is sloping and then chin up to try to keep your eyes level with the horizon. So when we correct the pelvis and we correct the spine, then the head can do sort of a chin down gesture. But the chin down, notice I'm not looking at the floor. My chin is down, but my gaze is forward. And you'll feel an opening of this gate here at the base of the skull. And there's some people who think one of the main causes of deteriorating senses, like vision, smell, taste, hearing, is this cutoff of the nerve flow that goes to all these places, right? So just this gesture here of chin down, crown up, can be already a medicinal experience for us, right? So just create that good alignment, and then closing the mouth so that your breath is forced to come through these two nostrils. Now, again, if you're clogged up, maybe blow your nose and then see if you can do nasal breathing. If nasal breathing doesn't work for you, then you can, of course, breathe through the mouth or do a little of both. In the nose, out the mouth, right? And you can do any of that that feels good. Over time, you do want more nasal breathing than mouth breathing in your life, right? Okay, so let's just take 2 more minutes of alignment, hands resting comfortably. Chin is slightly down, but crown slightly being pulled up. Eyes closed to send your perception, your visual perception, inward. So that now you can sort of see what's going on in the mind. You can see what's going on in the body. So you might feel tension, you might feel numbness, you might feel pain, you might feel other kinds of positive sensations, warmth or cold, you might feel tingling, you might feel any number of sensations all over this body map, and just take that in, almost like you were a cartographer taking notes about the map. Just notice what's going on in my neck. Do I feel pain anywhere? Do I feel pleasure anywhere? Are there any areas that are sort of blacked out and numb? And also just breathe naturally. Just notice that if you just observe the breathing without any other distraction, that automatically changes the breath for the better. Automatically, you're starting to hear the breath. You feel where it's moving in your system. Notice that the breath initially has 2 parts to it. Inhale and exhale. Tony, you're unmuted for some reason. I'm going to mute. Oh, there you go. You got it. Thanks. But over time, our breath moves in the direction of having 4 parts, which is inhale all the way to full and just hold the breath there. Maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Let the breath out nice, slow, and smooth. Sort of squeeze the breath out and then hold the breath empty. Don't inhale right away. Notice there's a little space there. And then when you're ready, inhaling, pulling that breath in, feel that expansion that's occurring. Then hold that expansion. Let it sort of open you up and create robustness in the chest and torso. And letting the breath out, feel that release, that relaxation. Maybe squeeze the breath out just to finish it. Hold the breath empty. Feel that deprivation state, that fasting, that little bit of discomfort. And then when you're ready, open the valve and holding the breath, saturate the system, sort of like a feasting. And then you let the breath out all the way to empty, holding empty, sort of like a fasting. And then inhale. This 4-part breathing trains our breathing chassis, our respiratory chassis, which is a set of about 26 different muscles that we want eventually all working in a symphony with each other. Holding. Releasing out. Holding empty. Waiting. Gently open the eyes. Keep the breathing happening. On your next exhale, we'll do our first move. Sliding hands forward, sort of leading through the fingertips until it causes you to round your back just a bit and drop your head. Then slide the hands back as you're inhaling all the way back, elbows pulling back, shoulder blades gently squeezing back. Look up, chin up. And tipping on the pelvis, start to round the back, slide those hands forward, drop the head. And slide the hands back, elbows softly back, shoulder blades softly back, looking up. 2 more. Sliding forward, rounding. Sliding back and arching. 1 more. And back. And center. Now, that was flexion extension, rounding the back, arching the back. Now rotation. Slide left hand forward, right hand slides back, and just turn as if someone's to your right who just called your name, and just rotate. Feel your lumbar spine turn, your middle back, thoracic spine, and your shoulders and your head. Maybe even turn the head to look behind you a little bit. And then we switch. So the hands slide, turning lumbar, turning shoulders, turning head, look behind. Switch. Notice there's a little turning of the hips at the leg bone socket connection. There's some turning of all the vertebrae of the spine. There's some movement of the shoulder blades, right? The whole body is built to be able to sort of just gently create this shape of rotation. And then we're back to center. Arms dangle, softly falling to your right. You're making a little side curve, a side C curve. And then we come back to middle, other way. Then coming up, this time as you lean Just lift the opposite hand, just very limp and light. Lift the elbow, just let it float up and then let it sink. And it floats up and sink. So stay with that version, or if it feels okay, notice how the hand just floats like a balloon all the way up, perhaps, touching the ceiling. And then let it just droop down. Lean. So again, you could stop here, or you could go reaching, touch the ceiling. One more of each, just finding which position feels good. Again, it could stop here too. It could stop here just a little bit, but it just allows you to open up some of that side body and then droop. Notice how the hand can come on the inside. I didn't have to take it out here. It's here, and it falls right through. And down. Good. Okay. So now we've got the spine sort of loosened up from the middle. Now we move on to the shoulder blades. So here's the shoulder joint, the ball and socket where the arm bone plugs in. But the movement we want is on the shoulder blade on the back. So raise up that shoulder and feel that it's the shoulder blade in your back that's sliding up, and then lower that shoulder blade down and let the arm just hang. Left shoulder blade rise. Left shoulder blade melt. Right. Down. Left. And down. Both. Up. Down. Up. And down. One more. Just notice that you don't have to do anything in the arm, right? I see some of you maybe doing a little bit of like doing something weird at the elbows. None of that is required to lift your shoulder blades and to lower your shoulder blades. And that's something that we find is that we're often doing things in the body that are unnecessary. So Tai Chi is trying to show us the minimum effort and the precise precision of movement that gets the job done. So we're not creating wear and tear, and we're not also creating roadblocks to our own movement, which is often what's happening. Now bring your legs closer together so they're somewhat out of the way. Place your left hand on your left knee. And with this right shoulder, the next movement is the shoulder blade comes away from the spine and the arm moves a little bit forward, right? And then go back to neutral and then slide your shoulder blade towards the spine. The arm migrates a little bit back. Relax the shoulder blade and it slides away from the spine. So this one can be a little tricky, but you want to see that it's the blade, right? It's this blade on the back going away from the spine. So I've increased the space here, and then I'm back to neutral, and then I come back and I've closed that space between my shoulder blade and my spine. All right, so let's do that again with the right. Bring the shoulder blade away from the spine. The arm turns naturally in. Back to neutral, and the shoulder blade goes towards the spine. The arm naturally goes back. It just goes along for the ride, and then we release. Let's do the other arm. Forward, release it, back, release it, forward, release it, back, release it. Let's put them both together. Both of them forward. Notice now that sort of forces you to concave the chest and drop the head a little bit. And then release it back to neutral. So you're just sitting perfectly in the middle. And then retract like you're trying to crack a walnut between your shoulder blades, and your arms naturally turn out. Your chest naturally lifts. Your chin naturally lifts. And then release that to neutral, finding the middle. Protract, getting that soft roundness. And then back to neutral, retract, and back to neutral. Now, put it together on the right arm only. Protract, lift the shoulder blade, and roll up over the top. So now the shoulder blade's in retraction and it falls down the back. Forward and up, over the top and down. Forward and up. It's a little hard to see with my black shirt, sorry. But forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. Switching directions, go back, up, forward, down. So it's this blade back here going back, lifting up, rolling forward, and coming down. And the arm will naturally do this like little spiraling gesture as you do it. Eventually this becomes very natural and easy. All right, switching sides. Other arm, forward, up, back, down. Circles. So like I was describing at the beginning of class, we're trying to decompartmentalize, to loosen up the joint relationships instead of letting them be glued together. Let's go back the other way. So again, we don't want a body that's atrophied, right, and loose. That means you got no muscle tone and everything's so weak, right? We wouldn't want that. But you also don't want so much muscle tone that everything's glued together, because then you don't have freedom of movement. You're not light, you're heavy, right? So we're finding this middle ground between the two. Let's do them together. Lean slightly forward. This time when you bring the shoulder blades up, let your elbows come up a little bit like chicken wings. Shoulder blades back, elbows go back, shoulder blades down, elbows down, hands down. And we do it again, forward. So as the shoulder blades come up, just let those elbows lift and just clean out the chest and neck and shoulder area. When you learn these various techniques and you learn how to use them, you can use them just like a chisel or any other tool that you might use to get a job done, a hammer, a chisel, a lathe, right? Let's go the other way. To get the work done in the body that's needed. So remember, the shoulder blades got to lead. It's got to be shoulder blades, then these elbows come up a little bit. Shoulder blades lead, the elbows follow, and then they release. And again, at first, it's a little tricky to learn the movements if you're new to it. But once you get them, then it's just so fun to flow through these wheels and circles of movement. And you get this loosening quality. One more. And release. All right. Now, step your feet a little wider apart so you have a stable little frame here. Take left hand onto your right knee and lean over. So right away, we're getting this feeling of loose and hanging arm. Now, in this socket in the shoulder, it's a ball and socket, so we can make circles. So start making soft circles. Some of you that have been doing this a while, you remember the idea that you're spiraling, right? That you're stirring with all the way through to the fingertips. You're creating these spirals. If you're just learning it, just try to get the feeling of loose, easy circles at that shoulder joint, right? Make the circles a little bigger, right? A little bigger. Now sit back up to vertical, bring the arm forward, then up and over and just a little bit to the side. So don't crank the arm too far behind and just let it fall. And then go forward, up over to the side a bit, and then just let it fall. Don't crank it too far, but go a lot forward and then up over to the side. And you can even go a step further. Get this knee out of the way for a moment. Just let the leg fall in and reach across and then carve that pathway. Let's do it again. Across, carve that pathway. Two more. Great job. And let the arm hang. Go back to the first positioning where you got your hand on your knee and you're leaning. Circle in the other direction. So if you were doing it with me, you were doing this sort of forward, out, back, in. Now switch that. Circle back, out, forward, in. Circling from the shoulder, loose, easy, right? And then letting it get a little larger. And then we do that thing where we sit up and the arm comes just a little bit to the side, a little bit, but then a lot forward. and then down alongside your body, and then somewhat to the side and back, somewhat up and over, and then quite a bit forward and release it down. So circles. And we can even take that one step further by going across. And we got to get this knee out of the way so we don't smack it, and let it fall through and make a circle and go across and down, across and down. So we're really getting this full range circled. Last one, and just release. Let it dangle. Switch. Lean over. Soft circles. Released, loose circles. Getting bigger with each round. So that's the idea of what a spiral is. It's not just a repetitive circle. It's getting slightly larger on the next one, and then slightly larger. And then let's sit upright and reach forward and up, over, and not too much back, so you protect your shoulder. Forward a lot, out a good amount, but not too far back, and let it just fall through. Circle. Circle. Let's take that one step further where we go across. So get this knee out of the way. Reach, and then and then reach. Reach. One more. And let it hang. Lean over, circles in the other direction. Or rather, spirals, getting slightly larger, larger. And then sitting upright and forward, forward, right, forward. And then even cross, down, down, down. One more. And finish. Release. Nice and easy. Great job. All righty. Now we do both. Lean forward, spirals. Legs need to be a little close together so you're not smacking into them. Circles, circles larger, sort of like swimming, right? Circles, circles. Now sitting upright, circles. Let them fall. Circles, circles. Loose, easy, right? Final couple, let's see if we can lean forward to get them to cross. And then lean back as you circle. Lean forward and cross the other. Circle. Lean forward and cross. Circle. Great job, everybody. One more. And release. And lean forward. Circles the other way. Forward. Out, forward, in, back. Out, forward, in, back. A little larger, a little larger. Eventually sitting upright and so in a way we're sort of slinging the body, right? We're sort of throwing the arms through the movement, but we're not getting sloppy, right? We're not like losing control. So you can have that slinging feeling, but yet go as slow as I'm going, right? Now, cross and release. Reaching across and release. And reaching across and release. And across and release. One more. Cross. And let them dangle. Now we do this little sort of to finish it. Turn your right palm to face the camera and then turn it to face away from the camera. So notice that movement is happening in the forearm. So you're not cranking your arm to do it. You're just turning the forearm, right? And the palm. So chicka, chicka, shake, 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 turn, 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 turn. Other hand, turn, 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 turn. Eventually you can do it quite quick. Chicka, 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 chicka. Raise your hand like you're saying hi and do it. Chicka, 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 chicka. Change. Chicka, chicka, chicka. Both. And then both. And then we do what's called Shogun Float. The arms, turn palms up, hands fold in, and we settle the chi of the body back to its nest in the belly. Navel, belly button, 2.5 inches deep into the center. It's where they say the sort of energy center of gravity is for our energetic body, right? It's our reservoir down in the belly. All right, release the hands down. Now, fold at the elbow and just touch your shoulder and release that down. Fold at the elbow, touch the shoulder, release that down. Fold, 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 fold. Now, both. Fold, fold. Notice that that can be executed very easily. Just the hand getting up into this position. Now keep your hands up, elbows out and upish, down. Wrap around the front and touch the elbows together if you can. And then release them down. And then upish, out and upish. And down, and then in. Out. In. One more. Now, elbows back, down, forward, down, back, down. Now, option here, forward, possibly up, with the hands down your back, touching your back, and then elbows down, back, down, forward, possibly forward and upish with your hands down your back. Down, back, it's our last one. Down, forward, possibly, and down. Last one in this little series. Palms face the floor. One hand goes on top, like two snakes passing each other, one on top, one underneath. Go as far this way as you can, and then elbows go out to the side of the room. Not behind you, but out to the side. So notice that I do not break this plane. They're out to the side. Then the other hand on top. Out. We add a little brain challenge here. Right now, your palms are open. As you go elbows out, make soft fists. Turn them into fists by the time you arrive here. Then open, no fists. And then elbows out, make fists. Open as you cross. And fists. Not only is that a little challenge for the brain, but it's also good for the knuckles, especially if you do the Tai Chi fist where you sort of claw into a soft fist. One more. Open and out. Good. Elbows down, release down. Shogun. Arms come up here, roll, and come over top, and then we settle the chi of the body back to the nest. Just be here for a moment. And the arms come down alongside you. Now fold at the elbows, palms facing up. Turn your palms down. Turn your palms up, down, up. Pronation, supination. Notice the only part of the body that's moving here is the two bones in your forearms. So that's a pivot or a joint that you want to make sure you have well under your command and symmetrical. Now, palms stay up. Bring the fingers close to each other. Then back to neutral. And then away from each other. Back to neutral. Now notice what's moving. The forearms are not moving anymore, right? We're not pronating or supinating. What's moving is the arm bone in this shoulder socket. Coming internal, even further internal, back to neutral, and then external rotation. One more. Now, keep the hands out like so. Bend left elbow, turn the palm over and reach towards that opposite palm and hover the hand right over the other hand. And then reverse that, lift it up, sort of up over a rainbow and land it palm up on this side. Then across and back. So this is kind of a sophisticated movement in the sense that we're doing some rotation of the arm bone at the shoulder socket. We're doing some pronation at the forearm. But eventually, you can just feel it all as one. It's just one graceful gesture. It's got roundness. It's got fluidity, right? But at first, we got to do the ABCs of the movement and say, okay, what's doing what? And get that clear in our brain. Last one, to each side. Good. Now, we do double. Step your feet a little wider. Both come up. Both come over the top and they cross, and then just extend them all the way down between your legs till they're straight. Then the same one crosses, they come up, and then they roll over. Up and over the top. Now the other hand on top, and then they fold and come under. Same hand on top, and they roll out. This is the upper part of a complex movement we're going to finish class with today. That's great for the shoulders and great for balance in general. So again, see if you can feel just the poetic quality of the movement, right? At first you're going, okay, anatomically, what am I doing? Shoulder sockets, inward rotation, pronation at the forearm, and then release, and then the opposite of all of that. Last one. But eventually you just want to be able to feel it and let it be fluid and complete. And bring the hands over top and settle them. Now lift your right hand, turn your right palm up, fold over the top, come underneath, and point your fingers to the camera. Turn the palm up, fold at the wrist, and circle it through. Spin. Now, can you just get out of the way and flow that? Right? And notice the round shape of the body. So I'm not jammed and jammed, blocking myself. I'm allowing roundness. So the body moves around. Let's go the other way. Palm faces down. It scoops under and points at the body, and then out like you're offering something. Spin the palm down again. Let it fall. Turns in and then out. Spin. Then you just try to circle it. It's kind of like that hand gesture of like, yeah, 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 get on with it, right? That gesture, that circle. And see the roundness. Get out of the way. And switch. And down. Both. And switch. And release. Then the last one of the arms for today. Hands come up and then down. Again, up and then down. And then up. Now, out, down, and let them swing. Up, out, down, and swing. up, out, down and swing. Up, out, down and swing. All right. Shogun. And now scoot to the back of your chair. Let's move on to the legs. Get somewhat comfortable there. Now lift the right thigh, hinging at the hip crease. Set the foot down. Lift the left thigh, hip crease, at the hip crease, and then set the foot down. So you're just doing hip hinging, simple hip hinging first. Now what makes this into chamber instead of just a hip hinge is as you lift, you also pull the heel towards the butt. So you sort of compress the spring-loadedness of the leg and then set the foot down. Do it on this side. So it's the hip hinge, but it's also a pulling of the heel towards the butt. So the knee does a sort of coil and then set it down. Right leg, load it, unload it. Load it, unload it. Now, load it and keep it in the air, push out, reload, set it down. Sorry about that. Push, reload, down. Load, push, load, down. Load, push, load, down. Now, load and push and hold the leg out there. Point foot, flex foot. Then do what's called evert, invert, a little in, out. Then circles, inward and around. And outward and around. And done. Other leg, load and push, point, flex. Then what's called invert, evert. The foot goes a little in, out, in, out. These are the ABCs of the body. And we want to make sure these are really well taken care of. Now, circles, inward and around. Circles. Other direction, outward and around. And down. Now, scoot forward to the front edge of your chair. Legs at sort of close hip distance. Lift the ball of your left foot, swivel on the heel. So the knee points out, the toes point out. Then lift the ball of the foot, come back to neutral, set the ball of the foot down. Lift the ball of the foot, the knee and the toes come in. That's internal rotation. Neutral, external rotation. Neutral, internal rotation. Now skip over neutral, external, internal, external, internal. One more, external, internal, and neutral. Other leg, neutral, external, neutral, internal, neutral, external. Middle, in, middle, out. Now skip over neutral, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and middle. Now put them all together, both together. Open, middle, close, middle. Now skip over the middle. And back to middle. All right. Forward fold. Hinge as if bowing forward. Lifting and sitting upright. Hinge and bow forward. And sitting upright. Hinge and sitting upright. Hinge and sitting upright. Now remember this first exercise we did where we arched and rounded. We put that together with the hip hinge. So arch, hinge. When you're hinged, slide the hands down your legs and round. Let the head go. Stay rounded. Come all the way up. And then slide the hands back and arch. And then fold and slide the hands down and round. And stay rounded and drag the hands up. And then arch. And then fold. Slide the hands down and round. Stay rounded as you come up. Arch. And fold. And round. And drag it up. And arch. And settle to the middle. Step your feet wider. Big wide stance. Tip a little bit forward and then slide your hands onto your knees, elbows sort of flared out, fingers on the inside here. And then bow between the legs and softly round. And then tip the body all the way up and lean back. And then fold forward at the hips. The arms get back into this position for stability and fold and around. And then up and lean back. And one more. And back. Now, as you lean back, stay leaned back and off to the right and bow towards your right knee. So here we then sweep through to the other side and then lean back on that side and then circle around. So now we're making a big old circle. We're making a lot of circles, in fact. So the hips are circling at the hip socket. Each vertebra is doing a little bit of a circle with the vertebra above it and below it. The shoulders are going through circles. The elbows, wrists, and hands are sort of getting a gentle round quality, and the skull on top as well. Switch directions. We go over and bow and sweep through and lean back and on around and circle through and lean back and circle around and bow through, circle. Two more. It's called the dragon. Stirs the sea with its tail. And you make it back to the middle. Bring your legs back. Shogun close. Up over the top. Settle down to the belly. All right. Now, make sure you're scooted somewhat forward on the chair. Slide your feet back Now, to stand up, just watch how I do it. I'm folding. So the first gesture I do is fold. The second gesture is not up, it's forward. Now that my butt is separated from the chair, then when I push through the earth, I'm launched upwards without any unnecessary effort in the shoulders and chest. I'm not pulling myself up. I'm not yanking on something to try to get me up. To sit down is the exact opposite. It's folding. Notice I have not bent my knees yet. I'm just sticking my butt back. Then I sink my butt behind the heels with my head as ballast out in front of the toes, land the tush, and then sit back to here. Let's do that together. So first gesture is fold. Haven't even done anything really crazy. Now we put some effort into forward, forward. Once our butt's off the chair, then we're ready to push down to rise vertical up. Now folding, just push the butt behind you. Let's just do that move a couple of times. Butt back, butt middle. Butt back. Notice the butt, for the butt to go back, my head and shoulders have to come forward. And if I do it correctly, it's no effort, right? It's no effort. It's just changing a certain relationship. I can do it with totally relaxed, released body and bring yourself back to standing. Once more, the booty goes back, and then I think, okay, let me just sink my tail. And then once I found my chair, then I'm ready to just, okay, lean back. Oh, time to stand up. I don't go up, I don't go crazy, I just fold, put some energy into forward, and then push through the earth. Easy peasy. Folding, sinking, sitting back. One more. Now, without sitting in the chair, we do the Tai Chi squat, where we send the tush back a little and sink it as if we're going to sit in the chair, let the arms just dangle, relaxed, and then push into the ground and come back up. So we don't sit in the chair. We just do that a few times. Tail sneaking out the back, sinking, and it's like we're dangling our fingertips down towards the toes, and then push through the earth and rise back to standing. So that's the last half of the next movement we're going to practice, which is called Sink Chi Wash Organs. So now stay standing. The next part of this Sink Chi Wash Organs we practice, these are great practices in and of themselves, of course, is now let yourself tip a little forward so you're more into the toes. You feel the toes working a little harder to keep you from falling forward. Then let yourself just gently come back to middle. And then just safely, be safe about it, but just go a little bit more into your heels. Feel that your heels are what you're connecting to the floor on. And then middle, and then toes. And then middle, heel. So feel that topography of the feet, that you have more than just like a one rigid block on the floor for a foot. In fact, you have this whole range of exploration that's available rocking forward and back. Now, the next time you rock forward, release shoulders so they just kind of dangle a little bit out in front. Then as you rock back, the arms swing back like pendulums. Rock forward, they swing forward. Rock back, they swing back. Rock forward, they swing forward. Rock back, they swing back. Forward. Now, as they come back, stay back, turn your palms forward and they rise up. The arms rise around chest height. Rock forward, they sweep around in like almost like a hug gesture. Arms way out in front of you, turn your palms up. As you rock back, the hands come to the mouth, so the elbows bend, you come back to this position. The hands fall down the middle to the navel, and then the fingers point down. You let the tail just sneak out the back a little, and you do that Tai Chi crouch. Through. Push down and rise back to middle. Now from the middle, we can rock back. So rock a little bit back to start the arms. They circle up to chest height. Rock forward, the hands wrap around a big circle, palms then turn to face up. Rock back, the hands come to the mouth, down to the belly, and then the tail pushes out just a little, and we do a Tai Chi squat. Release. This opens up the back, this lubricates all the joints, puts every joint through a little bit of a kind of gentle work. Rock back. But the really cool thing about this movement is it can all be executed effortlessly. So it's like a chi gauntlet. It's a chi workout, meaning we're not using strenuous muscular tension. In fact, we're trying to relieve all muscular tension and execute the movement with liquid, hydraulic. So notice where my arms are when I come up. There's nothing in them. I didn't come up with them stiff because I let them go. Then again, I go back, up, around, and over, reaching. Back, the hands come to the mouth, down to the belly. And then as I do my Tai Chi squat, the arms release to completely relax. And then push through the earth and rise to standing. One more. Back, forward, back, down, and through. Shogun. Wings, palms turn face up, hands come up and over. Settle the chi of the body back to its nest, deep to the belly button. Now, basic Tai Chi. Hands float forward and up like you're painting a wall in front of you with the backs of your hands. And then on the way down, the hands change position like you're painting with the tips of the fingers. Down. Again, forward and up like you're painting with the backs of the hands. And then like you're painting with the fingertips. Backs of hands. Fingertips. Backs of hands. Fingertips. Now, hands cradled in front. Wings. Wing. Wings. Down. Notice here, when I wing, the hands stay somewhat in front of the body. I don't crank them back here. That's this roundness, this healthy roundness of the body. Down. Wing. Down. Now, wings. Roll, palms upish, and fold at the elbow, hands come in, and sweep down softly and through. So we're using these pivots, ideally again in a way that feels effortless. So I'm not locking into any joints, I'm just rolling. In a way, some teachers have said it's like you're bypassing your joints. So at no point am I ever sort of running to the end of the range of motion of my joint because I'm not cranking it. Everything's just happily running through its circles. Now, wings. Right hand up over, left hand sweep under, hold the ball. Right hand up and out, left hand sweeping out. And then left hand up and over as right hand comes under. Reverse. Called Embrace the Moon. So this adds a challenge that you might be experiencing already. As soon as we're doing asymmetric movement, one is up, one is down. Now here, the left hand is coming up and over. The right hand is sweeping under, very low. And then like two magnets, they come towards each other. Then they go away from each other like repelling magnets. They go away from each other. And then the right palm turns up, and now they're coming towards, that palm is face up, bottom hand, and then they go away, right? And feel the whole roundness, right? A lot of times when I'm teaching this, people see, they think we're trying to get to here. So then there's like cutting short, right? Versus round, big movement, and round, big movement put together, round, and then round, and round, and round. Final time, out to your wings. Let your body weight shift more to the left leg. Then your body weight shift more to your right leg. Left leg, all the way through. Let the leg's spring-loadedness take your body weight to the point where your other leg is less needed. And then change. And then change. Change. So now we're just changing leg to leg now. Just leg to leg. No arms yet. Now take your left index finger, put it in your belly button. Now as you go to your left leg, belly button turns left-ish, just a few degrees. Then shift to the right leg with your belly button still pointing to the left, and then turn it to the right. Keep it pointed to the right, shift, and then turn. So in that order, shift and then turn. Shift and then turn. Now, drop the arm, put your left arm behind your back, shift and then turn. You got your right arm just sort of hanging out there. What it'll start to do if you're relaxed and loose is it'll start swinging. What it will also do is very naturally start to do two different positions. That's sweep the leg, then the hand turns around, and this is called brush the knee. Brush knee. And then shift and turn, and that sweeps the leg. And shift and turn, and that's brush knee. Sweep and brush. So this is the bear washing its paw in the stream. Now the bear swirls the stream. As we shift, let the right hand go away from the body and around the far side of a circle, but then come in close. And then as you shift and turn, you brush the knee. Then the hand goes around the far side of a circle and then in close. Now just notice that my hand isn't lifting out of the water. It's staying pretty much at the same height, right? But I'm swirling the stream that's in front of me. Swirl. Now the bear snatches the fish. The hand does float up out of the water, and then you shift and turn, and palm comes across like you're just snatching a big salmon out of the air, and then brush the knee. And then shift and turn, and brush the knee. Snatch the fish. Every time you're changing legs and turning the waist. Changing legs and turning the waist. Changing and turning. Now the bear slashes. So now the arm floats nice and up like we were making our circles before. And then when you shift, the hand goes over the top and down at a downward cross. And then brush the knee. And then it floats up and over, slash, brush the knee. Up and over, slash, brush the knee. Last one. Now, as we brush the knee, bring the left hand out and sweep the leg and put the right hand behind your back. And just do a few now. Brush knee, sweep leg. Just loose, easy. Notice again, the hand does not come out of the water right now. It's down in the water the whole time. Loose, easy. The hand stays at water level as we do the bear swirls the stream. The hand goes around the far side, comes in close, brush. Around, brush. Around, brush. Around, brush. Now we've stirred up the water, the fish start jumping. Snatch the fish. Remember, change. You should be in your right leg now. And then you should be in your left leg now. And then right leg now. And then left. And then right. And then left. And then right. Now the bear slashes, arm floats a little higher, and it's coming over the top and down. And then through. Over the top. And it's really just moving from the shoulder, from the back. We're not really using the sophisticated joints of the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, the hand, the fingers. We're just kind of loosening up from the root. Last one. Now bring that right hand out and let's one hand brush knee, the other hand sweep the leg. Then they change jobs. Other hand brush knee, other hand sweep the leg. Brush and sweep. Shift, turn, brush and sweep. Shift, turn, brush and sweep. Now the left hand will go around the circle. Around and come in close. Now the right hand. Around. Left hand. Around. Around. Oh, time to snatch the fish. A little higher with the hand. Changing leg, turning the waist. Changing leg, turning the waist. And finally, over the top, slash. 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 That's just the bear's movements right there. But they loosen the waist, they loosen the root joints, they give us a feeling of loose and easy power, right? And then finally back to the bear, washing paws, washing paws. Settle, shogun, float up, roll, fold, body, the chi of the body settling to its nest. Deep to the belly button. And then the last movement we will do, and then we'll be done. Remember this movement of the arms. Cross, come up, roll open and settle, and then come up, in and cross. And they went down, but what we'll do is actually let them swing. And then they come up and open. They cross and swing and come right back up and open. So that same movement with a movement down in the lower body here. So shift your weight to your left foot, step your right foot a little bit forward. Shift into your front leg a little bit, cross your right hand over your left hand. Now as you shift into your back leg, come up and open. As you shift into your front leg, cross and release down and sweep and come up. And now you're in your back leg. Then you come into your front leg as the hands come forward and cross and release them down. Then they come up, you open and go into your back leg. Then come forward and cross, release. So again, you got to be loose here. So right here, we're about to go loose. Down, up. And then we open and shift into the back leg. Then we come forward and cross. We're about to go loose. Release. They come back up to the cross right after the shake. Let's do one more on this side. Loose, right up to the cross. Open. Now we switch. Bring the front foot back. Change. Other foot out. Shift into the front foot. That left hand crosses over top. Loose, cross, and then open into your back leg. So front leg, through. Back leg, open. Front leg, through. Back leg, open. Front leg, cross, through and up. Back leg, open the arms. Front leg, through. Back leg, open. Back, forward, forward, back, forward, back. One more. Now on this last one, we just stay in the front leg, let the arms swing. 3 sync chi wash organs, then we're done. Back, circle, forward, wrap around, back, bring into the mouth, down to the belly, tail sneaks out, through, and back up. Rock back, forward, back, down, through. Back, forward, back, down, through. Shogun, and we close, sealing right at the belly button, one hand, other hand. And then the Taoist bow, grab one thumb, make a fist around it, fold those fingers over. You see this little yin-yang type symbol. Thank you, everybody. Well done. So have a seat, make sure your chair is where you think it is. I like to stick around and chat if people are interested in chatting, but I know also many of you have places you got to be. So feel free to say bye-bye and log off.